Hello guys, and welcome back to another cold episode. On today's episode, as you could tell by the title and the thumbnail, we are talking about Cyberse strategies. Specifically, now that Tier has come out, a lot of the Cyberse strategies have kind of fallen in popularity, and I kind of wanted to talk about them. Basically all of them. Well, not all of them. I don't play Accesscode because that's even more boring than the decks that I am currently playing, which I already can't stomach. Let's be honest with ourselves. But the three strategies that I do want to talk about are Salomon Great, Marincess, and Mathmech. And the reason for these three in particular is because they're all pretty unique when it comes to Cyberse. Granted, all Cyberse strategies basically boil down to Accesscode OTK with Update Jammer, and it's really boring, which is why I don't enjoy them. But I do want to bring this to you guys so that you can know whether or not these are worthwhile, how they are playing, how they're doing, etc., etc. So we're going to start off here with the Mathmech deck. This is the Mathmech deck that I have built. I'm not going to go over each individual card, but notably we are playing triple Parallel Exceed because it's a really good small world bridge, and it's just good to draw in general. Triple Sigma, Double Addition, Double Subtraction, Triple Diameter, and Triple Circular for our summons. We're also playing the 3 Silent Mining, 3 Small World, and then a whole bunch of tech cards, or hand traps to be precise. The 2 Effect Failure, Triple Infib to deal with Tier and stuff like that. You could also play Crow. Crow is also an option, but instead I figured Veiler was just better as an additional small world bridge. It's a little bit easier to utilize it as a small world bridge, so instead of playing Crow, we're playing the Veiler, so there's that. Now, you could also cut the Cosmic Cyclones and play 2 Crows or something like that. It's up to you, depending on how much Tier you're facing. I was more worried about Floodgates in particular, but also Cosmic Cyclone does happen to deal very well with Tier by being able to banish a Soliak, which is very nice there. So if they activate the Soliak, you just banish it, and now they can't activate it, and they don't get any advantage off of that. So there you go. But yeah, there's that. The 2 Cosmics, etc., etc. I'm also playing 2 Super Factorial. Very nice to have. Yeah. As for the rest of the cards, we have the extra deck in here. We're playing 2 Laplacian, 1 Alimbertian, 1 Link Disciple, 1 Devotee, Link Garibo, Wick Kid, Update Jammer, IP Masquerena, Splash Mage, Nightmare Unicorn, Transcode Talker, Heat Soul, Apollosa, and Accesscode Talker. Now, I know what you're saying, why aren't we playing the second Alimbertian? And the reason for that is because then I would have to cut something from this deck, and honestly, there are 2 technically cuttable cards, that being Transcode and Heat Soul. But even with that being said, there are often times that I do actually end up wanting to go into a Heat Soul, or I want to go into a Transcode more so in particular. But you could cut the Heat Soul and play the second one. That's also definitely an option for you. So there's that. It's just more of like, for me, it's very rare that I see Alimbertian being worthwhile. The only thing that it really ends up doing is potentially being a blocker, because most of the time you're not even getting access to Diameter if you have access to Super Factorial with 2 names. Like, anyway. So it very rarely comes up where I would ever want the second Alimbertian. Occasionally, sure, but at that point it's like, I'm probably dead anyway. Doesn't really matter. So yeah, there you go. Let's hop into the replay and show you how this deck performs. Alright, so here we are going first. And, hilarious hand. So we're going to start off with the Silent Mining, and grab up the Circular. We're going to activate the effect of the Circular in order to send the Sigma, activate the effect of the Sigma, special summon it, activate Circular, grab up Super Factorial, then we are going to Exee into Alimbertian. Alimbertian effect is then going to send those 2 to the graveyard in order to grab up the Diameter. Diameter will then bring back the Circular, and then we shall link the Diameter off. Now, this is a bit of a mistake, but it's fine. Realistically, what I should have done is, instead, I should have gone for the, I should have kept that Diameter, so that I could go into, well, I'll show you. So we're going to go for the Parallel Exceed, and then utilize the Parallel Exceed summon in order to go into Laplacian. Now, this is why I should have kept the Diameter. So we're going to go for the Laplacian to rip the card out of my opponent's hand, and it happens to be literally the worst card that it could possibly be. Mudora! Oh no! I lose. If my opponent is smart, I lose the game. Let's see if my opponent's smart. So we're going to start off with the Alimbertian. We're going to activate the effect in order to special summon out the Circular, then go into Devotee, tribute that off, grab Addition, which is very nice, because it gives me access to the end board that I actually want. So we're going to go into the Cyberse Wick Kid, special summon out the Addition, activate the Cyberse Wick Kid, banishing the Laplacian in order to grab up the Diameter for follow-up, and then link off into the Link Garibo, and link off the last 2 monsters into IP Masquerena. Now this is normal normally what you're ending on. However, your opponent normally doesn't have a Mudora in the graveyard. So, here's the thing. If right now they activate Mudora, I lose the game. However, at any point, if I am able to go into Apollousa before they activate the Mudora, there's a chance. We have Maxi, we have Lingaribo, we have Super Factorial to rip a card out of their hand and potentially a card from their field while putting up another Omni Negate if it resolves. We just need Apollousa to deal with the Mudora. Let's see if that resolves. Again, at any point, if you know, okay, I fire the Maxi, okay, we're in main phase 1. They're going to normal summon the Jester. They're going to grab a Branded Fusion. I'm going to go for the IP Masquerena here into the Apollousa. And oh my goodness, I get to go now for the Super Factorial. We're going to go 1, 2, 3. They're going to activate their Mudora. This is why we go for the Apo here. We are going to negate it. And fantastic. You'll love to see it. Okay, cool. We get to go into the Laplation, activate the Laplation effect to send a card from their hand and from their field, and we hit the Retribution. Not exactly the greatest, but hopefully it should be enough. Then they're going to activate the Branded Fusion, which we will promptly negate, and they will concede. Cool, good game. Whew. Got out of that one scot-free. Alright, the second deck to talk about is Salomon Great. Now, I am less familiar with this one, but I do have a general understanding of this, and this is the deck list that I've come up with. I'm not really that, like, I don't care too much about playing 40 cards exactly, and I really was like, I do want to play Pot of Desires, it's very strong, but I do also want to play Signet Mining, that's also very strong. Even going like Pot of Desires into a Signet Mining is still very good in this deck, due to how much advantage you can get off of a single Signet Mining, so there's that. So we're playing 2 of each of those, and I was like, I don't really want to cut anything. As you can see, we're also playing very similar numbers of hand traps and stuff like that. But then we're also playing the Roar and the Rage on top of a lot of the Salomon Great stuff. Pretty standard list when it comes to that. And then we have the extra deck playing the Mirage Stalio, the Baguska, triple Balinx, triple Sunlight Wolf, Lingaribo, Update Jammer, double Splash Mage. Splash Mage is a joke. That card's crazy. Transcode Talker, Heat Soul, and then of course the Accesscode. So this is basically just Heat Soul control, or like sit on Sunlight Wolf and maybe a Baguska or something like that, with a bunch of hand traps. That's kind of your hope. This one's pretty poorly positioned, but honestly none of these decks are great. Even MathMech's not that great, but yeah, let's show you how this deck performs. Alright, here we are going first with a pretty decent hand. Let's see what we can do. So we're going to start off with the Pot of Desires, activate the effect. They're going to Ash that. Okay, not really anything that I can do about that. We didn't really banish anything of note. We're going to go and normal summon out the Spinny, special summon the Foul, activate the Balinx, and then I'm going to link these off into the Splash Mage. We're then going to activate the Splash Mage, bring back the Foul, and then go for the Spinny effect in order to go into Transcode. Now I know what you're saying. What the heck are we doing here, Snow? What's going on? I have Maxi in hand, and I'm like, okay, this should resolve, and I should be able to go and activate the Rage from the hand. So I'm still feeling pretty good about this. So instead, I'm going to go Transcode into the Heat Soul, which then gives me untargetable guys, and immediately I draw into the Jack Jaguar, and I'm like, fantastic. So we have Maxi, we have a potential draw off of the Heat Soul, and we have Rage. It's not great, but it's something. So at the very least, we have something there. So during the draw phase, I'm going to activate the Heat Soul, see that there's no Ash, and then draw into Roar off of that. They're going to go and activate their Agito, and they are under Maxi, but hey, maybe that doesn't matter. They're going to mill a whole bunch of cards. They hit the Havness, they hit the Soliak, of course. We do have the Rage here, so it's not the greatest, and this is probably one of the reasons why I wouldn't say that this deck is great. One of their best cards in Rage is just not there, so oof. Anyway, they're going to go for the Kit Kalos. They're going to fusion summon into that guy. And they're going to activate the effect here to send Scream. Them sending Scream, I'm like, okay, if they're sending Scream and they had a Sheeran in hand, because they use Sheeran, I believe, from hand. Yeah. They use Havness and Sheeran from hand. I'm like, okay, if they had a Sheeran in hand, that most likely means that they already have either a Sheeran or a Merly in their hand. And we know that they searched out the Rhino Heart. So I'm like, okay, I don't want them to get additional mills and to get additional advantage off of this Kit Kalos. So they're going to search out the Soliak. I'm like, okay, I'm going to activate Rage here and pop the Kit, which you're like, why would we do that? It just triggers, I know. The thing is, it not being on field means that they don't get to go and activate the effect to special summon out the Merly. They have to utilize their normal summon in order to go for the Rhino Heart. They're still going to get the mills, like, whatever. This is just the best case scenario for me. I'm like, I can't really do much here. This is probably the best hit. I could probably wait for, like, Kaleido Heart or something like that, but it's like, this could potentially just stop them depending on how lucky we get. So that's kind of what I had to go for. They hit a Sheeran, of course. I'm like, okay, like, whatever. Out comes the Rukolos. I'm like, okay, yeah, I probably should have hit the Rukolos instead. But alas, here we are. It wouldn't really have mattered had I hit either the Rukolos or a Kaleido Heart, because those just come back, and then it would trigger again, and it's like, whatever, who cares? Anyway, out comes the Kaleido Heart, and Kaleido Heart actually can't do anything here. My guys are untargetable, so that's funny. They're going to pitch the Keldo, and then grab Kelbeck, and then activate the Keldo, and shuffle summon things back for some reason. I don't know. They're going to go to battle and walk over the Code Talker, and pass the turn. Interesting. So we know that they have a SnowiKs. We don't know the other set card, but this is all going to happen before draw. They're going to activate Gravekeeper's Trap to call what I am going to draw. I'm going to activate the Heat Soul. They will then activate Crime. Now, granted, they do have Kelbeck in their hand, but why are we activating Crime on Heat Soul? It's fine. Away goes the Kelbeck. We're going to go and activate our Called By, and then I'm like, well, they do have a Shuffler, that being Mudora, and they're just like, I'm going to activate SnowiKs, and then not do anything about that Called By. Okay, cool. I draw into this to the Signet Mining off of my normal draw, and then we can go Signet Mining, grab up the Gazelle, special summon the Gazelle, and we don't really have anything to worry about, except for my opponent's Mudora, which they just happened to fire there. And guess what they are targeting? They target Scream, Crime, and Beast. They have nothing with which to fusion summon with now. This Kaleido Heart doesn't do anything. It shuffles away a monster, or returns it to the hand, I believe. I don't remember. Shuffle it into the deck. There you go. It shuffles away a monster, and brings itself back, and the SnowiKs is a negate. That's all we have to chew through. We are A-okay. They're going to negate immediately the Gazelle. Sure, that's fine. Oh, out comes their guy. They're going to pitch a card. They're going to shuffle away. That's fine. I'll just grab it back. That's fine. I didn't need it. Anyway, we're going to go to the Balinks, activate the effect in order to grab up 2 more cards. Hey, look, that's double infip. That doesn't matter. We're going to bring out the Jack Jaguar, go into Splash Mage. Hey, this is fun. We're going to bring out the Gazelle. We're going to activate the Spinny effect in order to bring that guy out, and then we're going to go into Update Jammer. Update Jammer access. Code! Woo! Sorry, I fell asleep by how boring this play is. Look, every Cyberse deck does it. It's very fun. I know. Whoop-de-doo. And now we're on to the last deck, that being Marincess. And as you can see, Update Jammer Accesscode isn't even in this deck. Oh my gosh. And the reason for that is because instead we're making a Towers. Oh yay. Cyberse decks are so fun. Yeah, this is a... I don't know, it's a clean list. I really like this one. This one is a nice, clean 40. There isn't really anything that I would put in or like take out. I do like having 2 Pot of Desires and 2 Triple Tactics. I think having 3 Pot of Desires is a bit too much. You do kind of want to see more of your cards. You can kind of get a grind going, so having access to multiple of those is very nice. Triple Tactics is also very good. I wouldn't want to play 3 because it's a card that, yeah, you don't really want to see all that often. It comes up occasionally. Being able to, like, look at your opponent's hand after they ash you or something like that is very nice. But all in all, it's not too warranted. So, yeah, 2 and 2. We're also playing 2 Wave. You could play 3. There was one time where it was nice to play 3, but other than that, it's fine. As for the rest of the cards, we're playing Mandarin. We're playing 2 Pascalis. We're playing the triple Seahorse, triple Blue Tang, triple Spring Girl. And we're playing 2 Sleepy Maiden to give us additional protection on our Battle Ocean. We're not playing any of the other ones, like the Basilisk. Where is it? This one. I don't really need the extra protection. It doesn't really matter all that much. Right, like, yeah, you can banish it, gives extra protection for a monster, but, like, I don't really care too much about that. The big thing is just, like, getting your combo. So yeah, we're playing a lot of like combo pieces. Anyway, moving on to the extra deck, we are playing the Abyss Dweller. This is because it's very easy to make with 2 level 4s into an Abyss Dweller, and you can make it under a Waterlock, so you can like Waterlock yourself by searching back one of your monsters and then go into like Splash Mage to bring back a level 4 if you need to, and then make Abyss Dweller, and then it just kills tier, and there you go. We're also playing Baguska in case we get max seeds. Sometimes we can do this. We can go like normal summon the Pascalis, and then go and like special summon a Spring Girl, and then just go Baguska and be like, okay, cool. You get 2 draws, that's fine, whatever. Anyway, we're playing 2 Blue Slug, 2 Sea Angel. We're playing the 2 Coral Anemone, the 1 Crystal Heart, 1 Splash Mage, 1 Marble Rock, 1 Coral Triangle, 1 Bubble Reef, Aqua Argonaut, and the Zelantis. I really couldn't cut a single card in here, though something like a, I can't remember the name of it, the other, oh, what is that card called? The Xyz that like pops water monsters, that one occasionally is, like, it occasionally comes up, but very, very rarely, like against Sword Soul or against, like, yeah, it's just never really worth it. Like, Abyss Dweller is much more worth it against, you know, tier, right? You're never really going to pop something against tier as much, even though in that last game we just did. But alas, that's the extra deck. I think it's pretty clean. In all honesty, I would love a second Splash Mage. It comes up quite a lot where I want that second Splash Mage and it like matters, even though we have something in Splash Mage that is basically Coral Anemone, but Splash Mage is just, it's just so very good that having that second one would be very nice. Anyway, that's it for the duels, or for the deck. Let's hop into the duel and show you how the deck performs. Alright, so here we are going second with 0 cards for interaction. Let's see what we can do. And my opponent is on Branded. Fantastic. I love being able to not interact with Branded when they get to do their combo. However, we do have the called by, so at the very least, we might have something going here. It's fine. We'll see what they end up doing. Immediately, I see that they go for the line to grab up the Ad Libitum, and I'm like, okay, most likely, they're going to go activate the effect of the Mirror Jade, which means that they're not going to have any sort of banish. So I just have to worry about the 2 unknowns, and the Branded in red. I have the answer for the Branded in red. If they have something like Imperm, we could cross-out designate it if we need to. So I'm still feeling pretty good, but I'm going to try and keep the cross-out designator for something like a Maxi or an Ash Blossom or something like that. And we draw Ash Blossom. Huh. Interesting. I'm going to go and normal summon the Blue Tang. They're going to Imperm it. And as I said, I'm going to try and keep the cross-out designator for a like Ash Blossom or something like that, because I feel like that would be much more important. So there's that. So we're going to go for the Sea Angel here, because we do have Dive already in our hand. And we're going to go Chainlink 1, the Sea Angel, Chainlink 2, the Blue Tang, which will add us another Blue Tang. Sure, that's fine. We're going to grab up the Battle Ocean here, and we're going to activate the effect of the Battle Ocean. They are then going to activate their Branded in red, to the which I will activate the Called By. Now, notably, this row is impermed. This one isn't. I was very close to activating that incorrectly. It's fine. We get a Called By. Now we can go for the Dive. Special summon the Pascalis, which will then special summon the Blue Tang. And then go into the Coral Anemone. Coral Anemone, bring back. And then we can go and special summon out the Crystal Heart. We're going to go for the Crystal Heart into the Aqua Argonaut. And then go Chainlink 1, the Anemone, and Chainlink 2, Battle Ocean. They will then activate Expulsion, which is hilarious. But they're going to tribute their fusion monster to target 2 non-fusion monsters that have vanished or in either graveyard, and they're going to target 2 of my Link monsters that I would have equipped, and they're going to give me 1 and give themselves another. Hilarious. That doesn't really matter all too much, but it's very funny. Now we're going to pitch a card to grab up the Spring Girl. We're going to special summon out the Spring Girl by banishing the Blue Tang, and then link those off into Marbled Rock, allowing us to then add back another monster. The only thing that we were hoping to mill off of the Spring Girl was a Seahorse, but we didn't, so we'll just add back the Dive that we pitched off of the Signet Lining. We're going to then go to battle and deal quite a bit of damage, but not even a 2-turn clock there. Well, technically it is, but we're going to set the cross out and pass. We do have the Omni Negate, the Spell Trap Negate of the Aqua Argonaut, as well as the Ash Blossom. And out comes the Ecclesia, and I'm like, no, Owlball is for you. They pass the turn, and I'm like, okay, cool, that's the end of the game. Sure. I draw into the Imperm. Sure, it doesn't matter. We're going to activate the effect in order to grab up the Blue Tang as well, and then they just concede, realizing the game is over. So, cool, good game. Alright, so we're back with the deck, and in all honesty, none of these decks are inherently great right now. Mathmech is still fine, like it still puts out the same boards and it kind of does fine, but if you activate Super Factorial, rip a card out of your opponent's hand with the Laplation, and all of a sudden they go Havness effect, and you go, oh no, I lose. Yeah, it's not exactly the greatest. That's the biggest problem with Mathmech. But for the other two decks, both of them very heavily rely on the graveyard. And right now, a lot of players, and I mean a lot of players, are playing anti-tier hate. That means banish with Macrocosmos or Dimensional Fissure, things like Dimension Shifter as well. They also have, you know, like Floodgates out at the wazoo, things like There Could Be Only One, Rivalry goes in, Skill Drain, Summon Limit, etc., etc. They're playing stun decks like you know, Barrier Statue and Pachycephalo and stuff like that, just because they don't want to play tier, because they're simple-minded apes. But alas, that does a lot against every single one of these cyber strategies. Basically, every single one loses to basically the same things that that tier does, which makes it basically have a target on its back through tier. It's like a big sniper rifle pointed at the back of tier that is actually just body blocked by all of the cyber strategies. It's not very helpful, and none of these decks really shine in any meaningful way. Are they still playable? Yes. Are they any good? No. I would not suggest playing them. I would not suggest playing them, one, because they're very, very boring. If you do not like doing the same play over and over and over and over and over again and turning your brain off and not thinking, do not play these decks. They're just not fun. None of the games are really all that interesting. It's kind of just like, all right, Cyberse OTK, or can you out my big bungus, which is, I don't know, I don't find it very fun. Two, you died a tier hate, which, that's not great. And three, the games against tier also aren't all that great, because oftentimes you're hard losing due to your own interactions, like with Mathmech. All of that being said, yeah, I don't really have anything else to say. They exist. They're still here. As soon as tier becomes not the best deck, or more specifically not tier 0 status in the minds of the populace, I think that a lot more people will stop playing a lot of the hate that specifically happens to beat a lot of these cyber strategies. But anyway, that's going to be it for this episode. I hope that you guys did indeed enjoy. If you did, a like is very much so appreciated. And if you want to check out more content like this, as well as more Yu-Gi-Oh!, then just be sure to subscribe. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching, and remember to always stay frosty. Bye-bye. Shout out to the Frost Guard, my members. Thank you guys so much for the support, and I hope you enjoy the content.